Welcome back everyone for another video. This is Q50 Beast, and today we have the Rimac 2019 Concept 2. I believe it's Rimac. Hey, this is a car that snuck up on me one day. I thought it was a Corvette and I was like, nah, it looks a little funny, but it's not a Corvette. We're gonna get into it. Very interesting car. Let's go ahead and buckle up. All right, let's go ahead and get into the custom tune. If you look, we have no engine choices at all. You know why? Because it's an electric car. There is no engine choices. All right, so what we can do is we can go ahead and put race springs on this thing, race anti-roll bars in the front, race anti-roll bars for the rear. We did nothing with the chassis reinforcement, and we did a full weight reduction on this car, make it as light as possible. Hyper speed car. The differential, we have the stock differential installed because we have no race differential to choose from, so we use the stock differential for this particular build. On the tires, if you look at it, we went with drag tires because we're going to do a drag build. We went all the way wide with 305s in the front, pretty meaty, and 345s, pretty meaty in the back, in the rear. For these wheels, as you see what I put out, I chose these, the OZs, the F1 Deeps. I thought they looked pretty good on there, and I painted the wheels black to make it match the color scheme that we have on the car. All right, so we went with 21-inch wheels in the front, and we went 20-inch wheels in the rear. What we did is we extended the track width in the front to give it that wide footprint, and extended the track width in the rear to give it the wide footprint in the rear to help with handling. We actually went with the Forza bumper on this one. It wasn't so obnoxious. I wanted to get hyper speeds with this car. I wanted it to handle well, so we went with the Forza bumper in front. All right, so in the rear, we didn't put the wing up there, but this wing was kind of intriguing because of the low profile. I almost went with it, but I do like the modulated motorized wing that comes with the car, so we went with that. All right, so we went 15 to 15 front and rear with the tire pressure. 253 for the final drive, 310 for the first gear, and the final gear is 1.19. Nothing with the alignment. Anti-roll 65 and 65. Springs we went 800 in front and a little over 1,000 in the rear. All the way down, slammed at 3.6 for front and rear. Going to the dampening, we went 13 and 13 for the front and rear, and we also went 8 and 8 for the front and rear for the bump stiffness. Aero, we went 294 all the way down, tuned to speed because we want a hyper speed for this car. We did nothing with the brake, and on the differential, the center balance, we brought it back down to 65 to make the car as even as possible. Let's go ahead and jump in the car, but before we do that, here's the share code if you're interested in this tune. All right, this is a very interesting car. Listen, you can't hear anything because once again, this is an electric car, all electric car. No petrol or diesel motor for this. It's a very good looking car. It kind of looked like a Corvette. One night I was playing the game and it was nighttime at the track, and I saw a car pull up and I thought it was a Corvette, but I was like, nah, it's not a Corvette, is it? What is it? And I eventually ended up obtaining the car. But look how this thing rolls, man. I mean, it is super hyper fast, very fast car. Remember, we're on drag tires right now, and it takes these curves pretty well. We got a street tune that we can share with you guys if you want to take this thing on the road, which most of you will be doing, I'm sure. But right now we're looking at the drag tune. Like I said, this car handles pretty well. It's extremely fast. As you see, it is a 2-gear car, electric drive. So this is going to be pretty interesting to be able to put this up against some of the top contenders here on Forza 5. We are almost at our destination at the track, but just listen to these sounds. I mean, this thing sounds amazing. Look, we're even beating records right now. Yeah, this is a very fast car. So let's go ahead and get into it. Got the tires heated up. You don't hear anything. We're just gonna full send this. It gets a little squirrely out the gate because of the amount of sheer power that we have right from the jump. But just look at this thing stroll. 233 plus in the half mile. Very fast. You see it stop pretty well as well with the slick or drag tires. Just look at the profile. Looks very, very good. It leaves hard. It leaves extremely hard. We got this suspension pretty stiff. Remember, we're about 800 in the front and about 1,000 in the rear. Let's go ahead and give it another pass. As you see, this thing kind of turns to the left a little bit. So we got to try to keep this thing down the middle of the track because of the amount of power we have. It still wants to do that, but we get it straight. And we're pushing this thing down the track, and it is moving down the track. And we look at it here. We're faster this time, almost 234 miles per hour. All right, let's go ahead and put this thing on the street and see how it rolls with the drag tune. As you guys can see, it handles pretty well. We're above a 230 miles per hour already. And let's see how it handles around this curve. You see, we're taking the curve. We don't have much traffic at all, but it took that curve with no problem. Not much input from the steering wheel, as you see. Another speed trap personal best. Not much input at all. But this thing goes around the curves very, very well. So you wouldn't even have to change your tune. If you want to race this thing on the interstate with people, you can do that. And you see we got up to 288 miles per hour going uphill on this car. Remember, this is an all-electric car. All electric. So let's go ahead and we can try to slow this thing down and switch to the street tune that we were talking about. It's going to handle a little bit better. Here's the share code to the street tune. We have our Forza tires. Of course, we're not going to be able to leave as hard as we were able to leave with the drag tires. But this thing picks up pretty well. And it does a great job with the Forza tires. But if it's raining, or if you're in one of the Juggernaut races or one of those longer races, any other races on the game, you will want to put these tires up there because it will be able to handle with the weather and with the turning. As you see, just the input, the car grips very, very well, and it responds even at the high speed. I mean, that was 288 miles per hour right then. Another personal best with the speed trap. But we're at 291, and you touch the steering wheel and it's still gripping. So that goes to show you that the car handles very, very well with the Forza tires. So just listen to these sounds. It sounds really awesome. Interior, that's what it sounds like. This is a very, very fun car. Very easy car to build, as I'm interested to see if anyone can come up with some faster times with this car. But once again, thank you for those who stuck around to this point of the video. And if you like what you see, take a look at these videos. Hey, please like, share, and subscribe. This is Q50 Beast. Peace out.